Flowers.com/radio for details.
KGO time now, 11:20 on Dining Around with Gene Burns. We are talking with folks from R&B Cellars in Alameda. The Browns own and operate R&B Cellars. They are Kevin and Barbara. Barbara makes toffee. I just had a piece, delicious. And matched up with that, your 2005 cab, it's
pretty good pairing, right?
Yeah. About two-thirds of the way through the tasting, the two just marry each other right on the palate.
Exactly.
It's just terrific.
Thank you.
Why did you decide to start with cabs? You worked a lot with Kent Rosenblum at Rosenblum Cellars. He's a Zin guy, among other things. You make Zin. You're going to Zap today. You're going to be pouring at the Zap tasting. Why did you start with Cabernet?
Well, originally, Kent and I were kind of doing this together as a side project, and since we were both involved with Rosenblum and that specialization was Zinfandel and Rhone varietals, we didn't want to do anything that was going to in any way compete, and it was just we wanted to do something for fun. So we started with Cabernet and doing a reserve program right from the start.
Mm-hmm.
So
so what is the signature wine of R&B Cellars? Is it still the Cab?
I'd say the signature wine is the Cab.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
And we do a slightly different approach than others. I worked with a lot of European wineries over the years, Cordonnieu and Marques de Murieta, Marques de Riscal. And the approach in Europe has always been that you specify a particular amount of time in barrel and a particular amount of bottle age, as opposed to other ways that you might kind of determine how you want to make a reserve wine. So that's how we approach it with our Cabernet.
Who's got the marketing genius in the family?
Oh, that's Kevin.
Well, because I mean, you it's so obvious if like I have, you spent your life in radio and advertising, you spot these kinds of things pretty quickly, and you're very clever to play off on your musical background, the R&B Cellars idea, to name your wines or various things that you produce with musical attachments, which means that you're going to get noticed in that collection, which is very important.
The branding is real, though. With so many wineries, they're kind of reaching for a theme or something, but ours is real because this is who we are.
That's who you are. Yeah.
Well, it's who the family is.
Yeah.
And all the paintings that are on the labels, we own all of those paintings. They're done by an artist friend of ours, Mimi Stewart. And I actually bought the paintings before we ever were going to produce the label and put them on there.
Really?
And we used one of the paintings for the inspiration for the Cab label, and then in the 2006 vintage, we're actually going to convert over to putting that painting on the bottle.
So all of the wines have different paintings on them, and they all have different kind of jazzy names: Swingsville Zinfandel, Saxy Syrah, and so on.
How many do you make? How many individual wines at any given time?
We do 9 different wines now. And when we started out, we were just doing reserve Cab, and I think our first year the production was 240 cases, and we thought that was a lot. Now we do between 10 and 12,000 cases, depending on the year and the vintage, and 9 different varietals.
And you're at the old naval base facility right there on the bay. So
we're in a great spot out there. It's an old converted. It's 2 hangars side by side, and it's Alameda Point Vintners at Rockwall Wine Company, and we're a couple of buildings down from Hangar 1. And one of the walls of the building actually are doors that open up where they used to bring the jets in, and it faces San Francisco and the bay, and you have the most spectacular views.
Do you have tastings there?
We have open houses 4 times a year, and all of the wineries participate, and it's just a great time and great wines. And now we have a new tasting room that is open. It's actually a temporary tasting room. The ultimate tasting room will be coming in a couple of months or something like that. But it's fun because it's cooperative. There you go there, and there are 7 to 9 wineries pouring their wines, and maybe 2 of each. You get the first flight free. The second flight is $5, and then that goes towards a purchase of wine. Yeah. So it's just a great deal, and it's a lot of fun.
Every weekend there's a different winemaker from one of the wineries there to talk about their wines and feature a few more of them.
And where is that? Is that at this facility?
Yeah, that's at the facility. And the
Out
tasting
room
is actually in the winery. So you get a chance to see everything that's going on and be able to ask questions and get taken for little tours and barrel samples.
Barrel samples, yes.
Terrific. R&B Cellars in Alameda. Alameda, an undiscovered jewel of wineries and restaurants and a wonderful market, and we'll get you the nuts and bolts information of where to find them on the web and where you can get information on those 4 times a year open houses, and so that you can stop by and participate. All that upcoming here on Dining Around with Gene Burns. Let's talk about coffee. Coffee gets taken for granted. When I was a kid, I was raised in West.
8 performances at the magnificent California Theater in downtown San Jose. For tickets and information, call 408-437-4450 or go to operasj.org. Brought to you in part by a Cultural Affairs grant from the City of San Jose.
KGO time 11:28 on Dining Around with Gene Burns. Well, we've got you all jazzed up about R&B Cellars and their products. Let's get a little information on first an upcoming event. Kevin, you're having an event on the 13th of February along with the folks at Papal Restaurant.
Right, it's a Valentine's event, and it's at the Alameda Theater where you were last night.
Right.
And it's a Valentine's event for raising money for the Alameda Hospital Foundation, for the Boys and Girls Club of Alameda, and also a portion of the proceeds will go to Haitian relief for the earthquake.
Now, where are those tickets available?
Those tickets are available online and also directly at the theater.
At the theater itself.
Yes. Mhm.
And online from
The theater. So
From
it's,
the theater.
www.alamedatheater.com.
AlamedaTheater.com. You have a website for the Cellars?
Yes, we do. It's www.rbcellars.com.
RB Cellars. Now, I think you're carrying around in your vest pocket there a little deal for KGO listeners.
Yes, we are. We've got a special promotion for them. It's an extra 15% discount. It's KGORB is the code, and you will be valid in place through the end of March.
So go to the website, rbcellars.com, and then decide what you want to buy, and then when you get to the checkout in the promo code,
You put in the promo code, and if you don't want to do it on the web and you just want to call into the office and do it, all you have to do is mention the code, the KGORB, and the same thing will apply.
And also there's free shipping until the end of March.
15% discount for KGO listeners, free shipping until the end of March at rbcellars.com. Now, I assume the website has information on when your quarterly open houses occur.
Absolutely.
And
Yes.
the tasting room information.
Yes,
and
it
all
does.
of that.
Mhm.
Terrific. And you're pouring at Zap today.
And we're
Yes,
pouring
we
it
are.
out today. We're going right back there from here.
Exactly. Yeah, it's the 29th of January. They're sitting here in Hawaiian shirts and leis around their necks. But they quickly explained it's Zap. And you know, frankly, given Zap and its reputation, that's all you have to say. It's Zap. And that means somebody's come up with a crazy idea, but Zap is one of the most successful tasting programs in America, in the world probably. And if you're into Zinfandel, if there are any tickets left, and I understand there are a few that may be available at the door today, check out Zap. And that's at Fort Mason as well.
That's at Fort Mason, yeah.
Okay. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We appreciate it. Our guests from R&B Cellars, Kevin and Barbara Brown, the owners and operators, musicians, winemakers, and Barbara happens to make a mean toffee. Goes very well with the Cabernet Sauvignon. 11:31, let's get caught up on what's happening in the world. For that, we go to Katie Lieber. She is in the KGO newsroom with this update. Katie?
This is an update from the KGO Radio Newsroom.
All right.
Florida Governor Charlie
Thank you very
Clinton
much.
Thank you.
remains
Oh.
committed